Hello and welcome to another Thailand vlog. This time we are in KHAO SOK National Park. This is part 5 of the Thailand vlogs, but we were coming from Phuket, so we actually decided to stay the night before in the KHAO SOK area because it is quite a travel day and we wanted to get the most of our 24 hours in KHAO SOK National Park. So it is a bit of a headache to book a floating bungalow, but I'll talk you through this when we get there, and I also have a blog post fully dedicated to how to book one and I'll link that below in the description. But we stayed at Bandon Chularn Resort, I want to say, in the KHAO SOK area. So this literally is in the middle of nowhere. We were kindly upgraded to a nice room with 3 beds, so it had like a bunk bed style and then double bed, outdoor balcony. It looked onto the river as well, so you're very much in the trees, very much in the wildlife and nature in the middle of Thailand. But there's also nothing around here, so just bear that in mind. We found one cafe, there was no shop or anything. You're basically in the sticks of Thailand, but really nice room, very spacious. We had a fridge, large bathroom, large room, lots of light, so very nice place to stay. Just also be aware that there are a lot of dogs here as well, so if you like dogs, this is a place definitely to come. So in the evening we headed out before the sunset to try and get an early dinner, and we found this riverside White House restaurant that did a nice pad thai and some fried rice. Did the job. There was also no one else here. It is a very quiet area, but it was really nice food and about a 10-15 minute walk away from the resort. Then the next morning we got up early, had breakfast surrounded by some dogs, and I won't say it was the best breakfast ever, but maybe that's just me being picky. But then we settled up our bill and then headed off onto KHAO SOK National Park. So part of the package is that they will collect you from your hotel. So we got picked up around 9:30 a.m. and then we're taken to KHAO SOK National Park area, and we waited here for around maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes to get the boat then out to the floating rafts. The boat itself took around I think 30 to 45 minutes as well. It was quite long and it is a very large lake, much larger than I thought it was going to be, and there are a lot of floating raft houses around the area, so we decided to stay at Phutawan Raft House, and you can see them coming up. They were so pretty and the setting was amazing, but really cool and very modern. Apparently these are one of the nicer ones in the area as well, so definitely recommend. There was canoeing and they'll give you a little room tour. So you had the bed on the floor, there was no air conditioning as you can imagine. Then the door looked right out onto the water because it is a floating raft house. Like I said, this is the whole point of staying here. You can just jump straight into the water. And then once we checked in, settled in, it was lunchtime, so we had this massive serving, just for the 2 of us for lunch. They made everybody this massive portion of food, so you definitely won't go hungry. There is also a little tuck shop there for like noodles, ice creams, whatever you want, drinks and stuff there too. And then we went for a little dip in the water. He was struggling with his life jacket, as you can see. You do have to wear a life jacket in the lake or use one as like a floating raft basically, but the water was so blue, you couldn't really see through it. That was the only thing that freaked me out, but I think it is like a man-made lake, so there shouldn't be too many creepy crawly things in there. Then we got some canoes. These are free to rent out, and just went for like a little canoe around the area, and a very nice way to spend the afternoon. So there's no Wi-Fi here. There is a little bit of signal, but if you want to just come, read, canoe, swim, completely switch off from the rest of society in the world, you can do that here. It is the perfect place to do it, and it definitely is like a bucket list Thailand experience, so I definitely highly recommend it. This is also a map of the lake if you want to have a look and see what else is around the area. And there was a lot of dogs here too. I don't know how they get here because obviously it's floating rafts. There's not much to do for them, bless them, but they obviously come on the boats. And then we had dinner, so dinner was the same thing. We got served a lot of food. We had an omelette, some tom yum soup, stir-fried fish. It was so good. Like, we did not go hungry. Massive bowl of rice as well. So if you're worried about snacks and things, don't be, because there's so much food. Then the next morning we were up at like, I think it was 5:30, 6 a.m. for sunrise, and they would take you then on a boat out around the lake and to see some wildlife. It was like a safari boat tour, but very early. It is also mixed bathrooms, it's one thing to note. So you'll share the bathroom facilities with the other people that are staying there. These are also a cheaper option of houses that are on the same area of Phutawan Raft House if you want a cheaper version. And then we headed out onto the water. So it was very early. A lot of people were very groggy, myself included. We didn't really see much. So here you can actually see monkeys. They are quite camouflaged in with the reeds and things, but if you look closely you can start to see them moving along and like running along the banks. So we saw some monkeys. They did say we could see some elephants this time in the morning, but we didn't, unfortunately. But we did see like some birds, monkeys, and we did also see like a lizard, or maybe it was a Komodo dragon, one of those things like crawling out of the water and onto the banks. But otherwise we didn't really see too much. But it was still a nice thing to do early in the morning, and then we came back for breakfast. So we had some cereal, some fried rice. It was like a buffet style breakfast, some orange juice, some coffee, and then it was time to head off. And that was our morning in KHAO SOK National Park. And then we headed to Suratani, so we got a taxi from KHAO SOK to Suratani and then got the fast boat over to Koh Tao, which is where the next vlog will take place. And it is my favourite place in the whole of Thailand, so I'm very excited to put that together. But if you have any questions about KHAO SOK National Park, do leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next vlog.